Dragonroar is a combat-focused role-playing game published in 1985 by Standard Games. It was designed by Peter O'Toole, and as no further expansions were released, this basic set is all there is to the game. In this solo playthrough, I hope to try and show you a little bit about how the game works. I'll be using 3 characters who have all been through one adventure before, so they all have a little bit of experience. So this is Fergor, Kyra and Dagon, and they're all going to go on a little bit of an adventure that I've written for them. Your old friend Zengif the Wizard has told you of a fearsome troll who is terrorising the village of Kesselmoor. I'm too old to go out fighting trolls, he says, but I think you youngsters might stand a chance. Just remember, trolls are immune to non-magical attacks, so take this enchanted sword with you. But beware, the troll has allies that he allows to live in his home. They look to him for protection, and he uses them as an early warning of attack. Here's a map to the ruined farmhouse he has made his home, and look out for dangerous animals on the way, as the land is wild and untamed near the dark woods these days. You leave Kesselmoor at sunrise and head for the farm. As you approach the complex of sturdy but neglected stone buildings, a pair of snarling wolves appear from the bushes. Could these be the first of the troll's sentinels? The order of play is decided by the character's speed. So Fergor has a speed of 13, Kyra has a speed of 12, and Dagon has a speed of 9, and the wolves both have a speed of 9. Because of their respective speeds, Fergor can move 4 squares, Kyra can move 4 squares, and Dagon can move 3 squares, and so can the wolves per turn. So what the character is going to do, Fergor will move up to here, Dagon will move here, and Kyra will stay in the back to await the wolves' approach. The wolves will then go here, ready to attack. Now the next round is where the fight begins. So Fergor goes first and attacks this wolf. Fergor is using a leading edge sword, the enchanted sword given to him by Zengif, and so he has to roll 50% or less to hit the wolf. And that is 23%. So now we need to roll the hit location where he damages the wolf. 33%, which is the body, and now his sword does 1d8 plus 3 damage. So that's a 5 in total. So the wolf takes 5 hits to the body. Kyra is going to stay back out of the fighting for the moment, and then in the next part the wolves move and Dagon moves at the same time. So now Dagon is going to attack the wolf, and Dagon has a normal sword, a long sword, but he also needs 50% to hit, and he rolls 85, so he misses. Now the number 2 wolf will attack Dagon, and that wolf has to roll a 40%, but as Dagon has a chainmail armour and a Taj shield, that reduces the 40% by 20%, so the wolf must roll 20% or less. And he rolls a 6, so he hits Dagon, and he hits his 69%, that is his right arm, and the wolf does 1d4 damage. So 2 damage to Dagon's right arm. So that damage is noted on Dagon's character sheet, just here. Now the number 1 wolf will try and attack Fergor, and he also needs to roll 20% or less. And he rolls 24, so he just misses. Fergor's turn again. He rolls an 80, so he misses. Now Kyra will join in the attack because it's not going as well as they'd thought. And Kyra has a dagger, and she needs to roll 35%. But as Fergor and Kyra are both attacking the same wolf, she gets a bonus. so she gets plus 10. So she needs to roll 45% or less. And that is 89, so she misses anyway. And now Dagon will try and attack with his 50% sword. He misses, 88%. So it's time for the wolves again. So wolf number 2 attacks Dagon, needing to roll a 20% or less. 19. So the wolf hits him in the 77%. That is his right leg. So the wolf does 4 damage to his right leg. So now Fergal will attack again, and he gets plus 10% because he and Kyra are fighting the same wolf. So he has to roll 60% or less. And he rolls an 8. So he rolls 1d8 plus 3. 8, 9, 10, 11. I forgot to do the hit location. 94. So 94 is the rear left leg. So that leg is done for. Now I'm going to do a morale check on the other wolf, because when a wolf has one limb crippled, it can no longer fight. So they just try to slink away and won't fight anymore. And this healthy wolf has a minus 5% modifier to its morale. But as its morale starts off at 100, it's still quite high, so it might not run away. And that is 63. So the other wolf here, fighting Dagon, stays in the fight. Now it's Kyra's turn to move, and she's going to attack this remaining wolf, and that will give her a plus 10 bonus because her and Dagon are ganging up on it. So she has to roll a 45% again. And she rolls an 11, so she hits. And she hits its 38%, which is its body. And she rolls 1d4 for damage. 1 damage to its body. Dagon now attacks the wolf and needs to roll 60% or less. 10. And he has a normal longsword. Roll for the hit location. Oops, that's a 46. And that is the wolf's body again. So he rolls 1d8 and an 8. So that wolf is killed. And this one has run away to hide in the bushes. Each time you defeat a monster, you get a number of honour points. And each wolf gives 6 honour points when you defeat them. So I'll share out the honour points at the end of the adventure. Now we move on to the next location. Entering the walls of the farmyard, you see the main front door to the large farmhouse ahead. Peering inside, you see the remains of a kitchen that now serves as a guard room for 2 hobgoblins who approach with weapons drawn. Now both these hobgoblins have a speed of 8, so all the heroes can move first. So Fergal will move in, Dagon will move here, Kyra will stay at the back, and then the hobgoblins will approach. There are no squares on this map, unfortunately, but we'll say they're about ready to get fighting. So Fergal will attack hobgoblin number 2, and he needs to roll his usual 50%, and he rolls 27, and he hits the hobgoblin in the 31% in the body, and rolls his 1d8, 8, and adds 3, 9, 10, 11. 11 hits to the body. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11. And as you can see, he's completely destroyed the body hit location. And when you fill up all the damage markers on the body or the head, then the monster is immediately killed. So this hobgoblin is doomed. Kyra is going to stay at the back for the moment and let Dagon do the work here. So he will move in to attack this hobgoblin. He needs to roll 50% or less. And he rolls 57, so he just misses. And now it's the hobgoblin's turn. I didn't do a morale check for the hobgoblin, but even though his companion has been killed, his morale of 100 minus 10, 90% is still okay, so he's not running for it. So the hobgoblin needs to roll a 40% for his short sword, but due to Dagon's armour, that's reduced to a 20%. And he rolls 95, so he misses. And now Fergal will come into attack, and he will get a plus 10% bonus because he and Dagon are both ganging up on the hobgoblin. So 60% or less. And a 3. So he hits the hobgoblin in the 24%, which is the body. And rolls for damage 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. So that is another one. Very badly damaged in the torso, but not defeated yet. So Kyra is going to wade in as things are looking good. And she will get a plus 10% bonus because they're all ganging up on the hobgoblin. And she needs to roll a 45%. So that's 30. Now, where does she hit the hobgoblin? 56. That is his left arm. So that's a 2. 2 damage on his left arm. It's time for Dagon to attack. So he rolls to get 60% or less, which he does. He gets 45. He rolls 1d8 damage. 7 points of damage. Forgot to do the location. So that's 3. 7 points of damage to his head. And that is one dead hobgoblin. Because he only has 7 hits he can take in his head. Defeated. And both those hobgoblins are worth 10 honour points. The hobgoblins had a small stash of 20 gold pieces hidden in an old sock. So our heroes have found some treasure. A dark doorway leads from the kitchen into a room strewn with large cobwebs. Use your imagination. The creature who made them is no doubt within. So this giant spider is our hero's next foe. Now the spider has a speed of 16. So that means the spider moves first. So the spider can move 5 squares, and that will easily, even without squares, it's obvious that that will enable it to attack our party leader Fergal. Now, the spider's attack is 50%, minus 20% because of Fergal's armour, so 30% or less. And that's 34, so the spider just misses. Now it's Fergal's turn to attack, and he needs to roll 50% or less, which he does, 46. So he hits the spider. 38, where's that? 38 is the body, 38%, and he rolls a d8 plus 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my goodness. And the spider only has 8 hit points in the body, so it's killed immediately. I thought it'd be a bit tougher than that. The spider is worth 25 honour points, so Fergal gets a lot for that. Now, within the spider's web are several skeletons of his former victims. You notice that one of them has an enchanted sword which he never had the opportunity to use against the troll. This could be useful in the upcoming fight, so now Dagon can also take that magic sword and will also be able to do damage to the troll when they come to the big fight. Your battles thus far have alerted the troll to your approach. As you prepare to enter the final room of the farmhouse, you grip your weapons and grit your teeth, for the titanic battle ahead. Now the troll has a speed of 15, so he will get to move first, and he will run to attack the intruders, taking on Fergal first of all. Now the troll's attack, I'm going to say, is a large weapon, so a large sword. Okay, so that's 50% minus 20 for Fergal's armour, so 30% or less. And a 96, so the troll misses. Now it's Fergal's turn to attack, and he must roll a 50% because he's the first to move of the party. And he hits with a 27, but where does he hit? 74. He hits the troll's right leg. So, with his magic sword, which can hurt the troll, he rolls 1d8 plus 8, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now, due to being crippled in the limb, his leg in this case, the troll is going to have to do a morale check with a minus 80% modifier, which means his morale starts at 150 for a troll. He's now down to 70, so he rolls a 23, so he doesn't run away, but he is not doing well, and he's not going to be very effective in combat from now on. So Kyra is going to cast a spell. Kyra is going to cast an ice spell, and to do that she needs to roll 75% or less, and it will cost her 6 endurance points to cast the spell. So she rolls and hits just, she gets 70. Now that ice spell will do 1d4 damage to each hit location on the troll. So, head 1 point, right arm 2 points, left arm 4 points, torso 1 point, right leg, which is already a mess, 3 points, that is just very bad, and left leg 2 points. So the troll is really badly damaged at this point, and now it's Dagon's turn to attack, and he gets a 10% bonus, so that's 60% or less to hit with his new magic sword, but he misses because he rolls a 72. So now it's the troll's turn, but he gets a minus 25, so he can't actually hit really. I'm going to do a 30% morale check for the troll because he's in such a bad way. 64, he loses and he surrenders. He's done in. So there is a small chest in the corner of the room containing 200 gold pieces and one very defeated troll. I didn't expect it to be quite this easy, but you know, once your heroes get some serious armour going on, even if it's just chainmail and a shield, they're pretty tough. Unfortunately, there are only 12 monsters in the game and only 8 spells, each of which has a counter spell, and so there's not a lot of material to work with, but maybe RuneQuest monsters can be adapted, and you'd have to write a lot of your own stuff to develop a campaign out of it. The rules are a little bit limited because they were never able to be expanded, so I tend to use fate dice to solve any more difficult problems with the game, in case anybody needs to do a certain kind of check which there's no rules for. But I really like the game, I really like how it's written, I like the rule book, and the cassette tape which came with it is very quirky, and so I'm really glad I got the game after all these years, because I read a review of it in White Dwarf magazine in 1985. It was a very negative review, but I've always been quite fascinated by the game, and I'm really glad that I was able to get it years and years later.